Hi everybody, this is Jennifer and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing my November reading plans with you guys, and I'm trying a bit of a new thing. I'm going to go over my TBR real quick and then I'm going to tell you what my plan is for November because the two are directly related. So I am taking part in NonFiction November. So the vast majority of what I'm going to be reading this month is going to be nonfiction. The two exceptions to that are, bear with me just a second, is 6 Wakes by Mur Lafferty. In the middle of the month I have my book club and this is what we are reading. And it was my suggestion, so I have to read it. And that is what I'm doing. So that is going to be one of the fiction, the novels that I'm reading. The other one is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. This is as a part of the read-along that Steve Donahue is doing in November. 33 pages a week. Not 33 pages a week, Jesus. 33 chapters a week. And I've got it all tabbed out. And so yeah, I got this copy. I think I've skimmed through it just a little and I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna enjoy reading it. So I'm planning on joining in on this group read. So next is all of my nonfiction. The NonFiction November is going throughout the entire month, and there are 4 prompts that have 2 words based on them, and I'm going to leave a link to the announcement video below so you know what all of those are. My choices are kind of loosely based on them. There is past and past time. What is the second one? Oh my goodness. Oh, self and shelf. Then there is wonder and wander. And oh crap, what is the last one? Oh, I know this. I watched the video. Oh, micro and macro. That is the last one. So I have books that vaguely deal with those, and then I have some extra ones because I'm going to try to read mostly nonfiction, and I'm going to read a lot, hopefully. So the books that I have chosen for nonfiction November, in regards to past time, I've picked a writer from a past time. I have the Great Dialogues of Plato. And in December, I'm planning on starting The Just City by Joe Walton. And in that book, Athena decides to make a utopia based on the Republic by Plato. So I'm going to read, I'm not reading this entire book, I am just reading The Republic by Plato. For pastime, one of my favorite pastimes, well, I actually have 2 books regarding that. One of my favorite pastimes is reading, and the other is watching movies. I like both of those. So the ebook I have for reading, people have to write, so it's The Trip to Echo Spring on Writers and Drinking by Olivia Lang. And then the other book I have is, in regards to movies, Easy Riders, Raging Bulls, How the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll Generation Saved Hollywood by Peter Biskind. I have that on audiobook. I just downloaded a sample of the book so I could show you the cover. I have that on audiobook. So the third prompt is wonder/wander, and for that I have A Cook's Tour by Anthony Bourdain. And frankly, I think that this kind of fills both because he's traveling and he's eating food, and I just think that fits really good with the prompts for me personally, because I always wonder about other cultures' food, and he's traveling and finding other cultures' food. So I think that counts for wander/wonder. Okay, so next up after that is micro and macro, and I have one book here that deals with both. Both the small micro world of the quantum and the macro world of the entire universe. And it's also a reread, and it's also on audio. It's The Big Picture by Sean Carroll. And I really enjoyed that when I listened to the audiobook last year, and so I'm going to reread it. And hopefully I will enjoy it again as much as I did the last time. Sean Carroll is a science writer that I actually like. See, now that makes it sound like I don't in general like science writing, and for the most part I do. I like him, I like Carlo Rovelli. So yeah, that is my pick for the micro and macro prompt. So next up after that, let's see, okay. I have two that do not quite fit either prompt, which is fine. This isn't so much a novel really, it's more like an extended essay. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. The when you pull up the cover, all it says is the name, and it's all white, so you can't really see it on my phone. I'm sorry. I still don't know how to put pictures in here, so you're just gonna have to bear with me on that. Yeah, it is From Bauhaus to Our House by Tom Wolfe. It's basically his essay on American architecture, I think. Anyway, I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. So that is what I'm reading for no particular prompt at all. And then the last thing, and this really depends on when I get it from the library, because I have it, I'm next in line in the holds. And this is white also, so it's kind of hard to see, sorry. Anyway, it's The Evangelicals, The Struggle to Shape America by Francis Fitzgerald. And it's a topic I'm interested in, so I wanted to read that. I hear it's very good. And those are all my picks for the books I'm gonna read. There's a total of, that's a total of 9. And so, and some of these, like Moby Dick and The Evangelicals, I think are rather long. And the audiobooks, the Easy Riders and Raging Bulls is 24 hours long, and then The Big Picture is almost 18 hours long. And I don't really get a chance. My audiobook listening time has been greatly reduced due to a new policy at work, so I've decided to do an experiment wherein which I schedule my reading time. I'm gonna try to maybe put a picture, insert a picture somewhere of my calendar. So what I'm gonna do here is I've got a day. Well, I have the whole calendar. I'm sorry, you're not gonna be able to read this. You're just gonna be able to look really. Where, you know, I made out the calendar, it's got the days on here, and I have taken all the books, I've divided them up into chunks. I didn't just put, I'm gonna read this for here and here. You know, I put them together, well, I cut them up into equal-ish chunks, and I've scheduled them. So let me go over the schedule. Day one, well, okay. Moby Dick is a read-along. It's 33 chapters a week, and Steve Donahue usually puts his videos up on Sunday. So I have chosen Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for my Moby Dick reading. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, the 15th, 16th, and 17th, and the 20th, the 23rd, and the 24th, because, yeah, because November ends on a Friday. Each of those days, I'm going to read 11 chapters of Moby Dick. And I've gone through these. Some of the chapters are really short, so I don't think it's going to be that onerous. I think people just get intimidated by the size or what they've heard about it from other people. And they're like, nah, I can't do that. But I'm going to give it the good old college try. Sorry about that. Did not mean to do that. Anyway. So, yeah, I have 12 days, 11 chapters each for Moby Dick. What I've done with my audiobooks is I've split the month up into 2 distinct sections. The first half of the month, well, okay, from the 1st to the 12th, I'm going to be listening to The Big Picture by Sean Carroll. And then from the 13th to the 30th, I'm going to be listening to Easy Riders and Raging Bulls by Peter Biskind. And that breaks out to 90 minutes a day for The Big Picture and 80 minutes a day for Easy Riders and Raging Bull. Again, not at the same time, one after the other. So, there's that. Also, the first week, from Bauhaus to Our House it's really short. So it should only take me 1 or 2 days, and I've picked the 1st and the 2nd for reading that, split evenly as need be. So yeah, there is that. Now, the trip to Echo Spring I've scheduled for after so I've scheduled that for the 4th and the 5th. And there's 8 chapters in the trip to Echo Spring. So I've changed it from 4, so I'm doing chapters 1 to 4 on the 4th and chapters 5 to 8 on the 5th. And then after that, please keep in mind I'm also listening to the audiobook during that time. But then it's A Cook's Tour by Anthony Bourdain, the 6th and the 7th. That's page 1 through 135, and that is where a chapter ends. I actually looked. And then 36 through the end for the 7th. And then on the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, I'm starting up with my Moby Dick again. So, except for when I'm also reading From Bauhaus to Our House, I've scheduled it so that there is 1 audiobook and then 1 iReady book at a time, per day. So yeah, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, it's Moby Dick and The Big Picture. The 11th, the 12th, and the 13th is 6 Wakes by Mur Lafferty. My book club meets on the 16th, which is a Friday, so I want to have it done at least by Wednesday. The book is set up, so it's Wake 1, Wake 2, Wake 3, Wake 4, Wake 5, and Wake 6. So what I did was I divided, well, I chose to do 2 wakes over 3 days. So the 11th is 6 wakes, Wake 1 and Wake 2. The 12th is 6 wakes, Wake 3 and Wake 4. And then the 13th is 6 wakes, Wake 5 and Wake 6. And the 13th is also when I start Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. So for the rest of the month, that would be 80 minutes per day of Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. The 14th just has the audiobook because the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th are Moby Dick days. So that is just for Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. You can't see, I do not know why I'm still holding that up. But, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll catch up on my podcast or something. Or I can start early on Moby. I can do whatever. So after the 17th, when I'm done with the Moby Dick reading for that week, I'm starting the Republic. And the way this has been, I have it broken down into 76 pages over 4 days. However, I'm going to stop at the end of like sections. I'm not going to stop in the middle of a section. So, I mean, it might change, give or take a few pages, but I have broken it down into 76 pages per day for Plato's The Republic. And so that would be the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, along with Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. And then the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th, I'm going to be finishing up Moby Dick. And then the 25th through the 30th is going to be the Evangelicals, and the finishing up Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. The Evangelicals might have to be moved depending on when I get the book from the library or not, because it's 21 days is the length of a checkout period. So if I have to, I will move stuff around. But right now, that is my schedule for my reading in November. I have no idea how successful this is going to be. I honestly don't, but I have a large enough TBR in November that it's causing a little bit of, I don't know why it would be causing anxiety, but it is a little, because when I look at that big list of books and I'm like, I know for some people 9 books in a month is not that much, but for me, it is a bit. But I'm hoping that having a set schedule might work out for me. I don't know. We're going to see. It's an experiment. It's not like a class, it's not an assignment, it's an experiment. And so I will try to keep you guys up to date with how it's going and if I'm actually doing my daily reading and all like that. But we'll have to see. We'll see together. But I'm not gonna, I'm gonna try and see what happens. So if you guys have any tips for me to get my readings done in a day or anything like that, or if you want to share your TBRs, and if you're, participating in NonFiction November or any other read-alongs or anything like that, please put it down in the comment box. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.